In 1926, the British wizard Newt Scamander arrived by ship in New York City en route to Arizona. The world was in turmoil, with the wizard world on the brink of war with the Muggle world. Dark wizards were attacking the Muggles in Europe. Dark wizard Grindelwald led the attacks, and his whereabouts are not known. Beast ownership was banned in the US. Percival Graves, a high-ranking Aurora witch that worked as a highly trained law enforcement official for a wizarding governing body. He is a director of magical security for MACUSA and is responsible for protecting wizards. He is on the hunt for Grindelwald. Graves reports to MACUSA President Pickery, who worries that a magical beast has just attacked New York. Pickery says that when Nomages are afraid, they attack. Pickery believes that the beast is connected to Grindelwald. Newt encounters Mary Lou Barbone, a non-magical woman who heads the New Salem Philanthropic Society. She claims that witches and wizards are real and dangerous. As Newt listens to her speak, a niffler, a rodent-like creature with a long snout similar to that of a platypus, escapes from his magically expanded suitcase. Newt is holding multiple magical creatures in his suitcase. As he attempts to capture it, he meets no major cannery worker and aspiring baker Jacob Kowalski. Jacob had a briefcase very similar to that of Newt. Jacob is here to get the loan for his bakery. Before Jacob can talk, Newt leaves and drops an egg behind. The creature starts stealing people's gold and multiple jewelry items. Jacob picks up the egg and goes to the manager, but the manager refuses to give him the loan. Newt chases the niffler all over the bank and finds him in the bank vault. All of this was witnessed by Oratina, who was following Newt. Jacob finds him to return the egg and Newt takes Jacob away with his magic stick. A snake-like blue creature comes out from the egg, which shocks Jacob. Newt goes inside the vault and captures the creature. Before security can arrive, Newt uses his magic wand to transport himself and Jacob out of the bank. Newt tries to erase Jacob's memory for the last few minutes, but he escapes with one of the briefcases, the one that belonged to Newt. After seeing them outside, Tina confronts Newt and asks him why he didn't erase Jacob's memory. Tina arrests Newt for being an unregistered wizard and also having different creatures. She takes him to the Magical Congress of the United States of America, MACUSA, headquarters, hoping to regain her former position. Newt claims that he is in the US to acquire an Appaloosa puffskein and there is only one man in the world who breeds them. Tina says that the breeding of magical creatures is banned in the US. However, as Jacob's suitcase contains only baked goods, Newt is released. At Jacob's tenement apartment, several creatures escape from Newt's suitcase. Meanwhile, Mary meets newspaper owner Henry Shaw Sr., introduced by his younger son Langdon. Langdon believes in the presence of magic in NYC and wants Henry to publish a story based on Mary's collected evidence. But Henry insults Mary and her kids' credence, chastity, and modesty and calls them freaks. One of Newt's creature bites Jacob and the others, and the rest of the creatures begin to roam the city. Tina and Newt finds Jacob's apartment, where Newt fixes the destruction and finds Jacob unconscious. He tries to erase his memory, but seeing the bite on his neck he stops doing it. Newt says my creatures escaped, but none of them is harmful. Tina takes them to her apartment and introduces them to Queenie, her legitimate sister. She can read minds. Queenie and Jacob are mutually attracted, though American wizards are forbidden to marry or even socially interact with Nomages. Newt takes Jacob inside his magically expanded suitcase, where Jacob encounters a contained obscurus, a dark, destructive parasite that develops inside magically gifted children if they suppress their magical abilities. Newt tells Jacob that he came to the US to return a thunderbird to its native ecosystem in Arizona. The thunderbird was trafficked and found chained in Egypt. Newt says that he rescues endangered magical creatures and nurtures them back to health to release them back into nature where they belong. Newt extracted it from a young girl who had died. Those afflicted rarely live past the age of 10. Newt persuades Jacob to help search for the missing creatures. Graves meets Credence and asks him to find the little girl who contained the supernatural ability. Credence is feared from her mother and Graves greets him saying, "I'll enter you in magical world if you find the girl." Credence agrees to help him while Graves wants the girl to take her powers to become the King PF Wizards. Credence returns home and his mother Mary asks him about the reason, but he remains quiet and leaves. Actually, Mary isn't his real mother and she beats him all the time, which compels him to live in fear. Jacob and Newt returns back to the city, and while crossing the street, Newt watches Niffler inside the shop. Newt tries so hard to catch him that the store's windows are broken while Jacob watches it all. After much effort, Newt captures Niffler, but they are again surrounded by the police. Newt distracts them from the lion and leaves. They arrive at Central Park, where Newt puts Jacob in a helmet and protective suit. Newt goes there to capture a rhinoceros that is the last of its kind. Newt performs various dances and moves in front of him to attract towards him, but this infuriates him. While back at the home, the sisters find that Newt and Jacob escaped and Tina decides to find them. The creature rushes to kill Jacob, But before anything can happen to Jacob, Newt puts it in a suitcase. Tina follows them there, and when they both go back into the suitcase, Tina picks up the suitcase and leaves. Henry gives a speech on his eldest son's entry into politics when the dark power suddenly strikes. The power destroys the place there and kills Henry's son. On the other hand, Tina takes the suitcase and interrupts the president's meeting. Opening the suit, Jacob and Newt come out, and Tina says that this is the wizard who brought his beasts. The president and others there believe that Newt's beasts are responsible for the death of Henry's son. They then arrest them, and Graves sentences Newt and Tina to death for breaking the law. Percival Graves accuses Newt of conspiring with the infamous dark wizard Gellert Grindelwald. Before the authorities hang them, Queenie arrives at the parliament, and with the help of Jacob, she finds Newt and Tina, and they escape from there. Graves goes to Credence again and asks him about the girl, but Credence doesn't have any news. Graves motivate him and show him love and support so he can use the girl's powers for his bad work. Thanks to the help of goblin gangster Narlak, Tina's old informant, but he betrays them and call the authorities, but they escape again. The group then finds all of Newt's creature, and Newt takes them to his home. Credence finds a wand under his adopted sister, Modesty's, bed. Mary Lou assumes it is Credence's wand, but Modesty claims it is hers. When she is about to be punished, the obscurus is unleashed, killing everyone except Modesty and Credence. Graves arrives and dismisses Credence as being a squib and refuses to teach him magic. Credence reveals he is the obscurus host, having lived longer than any other host due to the intensity of his magic. In a rage, he unleashes the obscurus upon the city. Newt finds Credence hiding in a subway tunnel, but he is attacked by Graves. Tina, who knows Credence, arrives and attempts to calm him, while Graves tries to convince Credence to listen to him. As Credence begins to settle into human form, Pickery decides Credence must be executed to protect their magical society. The Aurors disintegrate him, but a tiny obscurus fragment escapes. Graves admits to unleashing the obscurus to expose the magical community to the Gnomages, and angrily claims that Makusa protects the Gnomages more than themselves. After being subdued by one of Newt's beasts, he is revealed as Grindelwald in disguise and taken into custody by Makusa Aurors. Makusa fears their secret world has been exposed. Still, Newt releases his Thunderbird to disperse a poultice as rainfall over the city erases all New Yorkers' recent memories as Makusa wizards repair the destruction. Queenie kisses Jacob goodbye as the rain erases his memories. Newt departs for Europe but promises to return and visit Tina when his book is finished. He also anonymously leaves Jacob a case of silver okami eggshells, which are made of silver, to fund his bakery. Newt's creatures unknowingly inspire his bread and pastries, and Queenie visits him in his shop. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos.